My brother-in-law looked across the Thanksgiving table and asked my husband, "Is the baby feeling better?" I paused with my fork halfway to my mouth, scanning the faces around me. Everyone else kept eating like this was completely normal conversation. My husband's sister was cutting her son's turkey while my mother-in-law stirred gravy, both acting like someone had just asked about the weather instead of a baby that didn't exist. "What baby?" I laughed nervously, waiting for someone to explain the joke. The entire table went silent. My husband's face turned the color of ash, and his wine glass started trembling in his grip. His brother glanced between us, suddenly realizing he'd stepped on a landmine. "Your baby," he said slowly, uncertainty creeping into his voice. "The one with the fever last week when he called me about going to the emergency room." My husband shot to his feet so fast his chair nearly tipped backward. "We should talk privately," he whispered, voice cracking on the last word, but his brother kept talking, confused by the reaction. "The baby you guys have been raising." I thought she was feeling better after that scare. I felt the blood drain from my face. "We don't have a baby," I said, each word feeling like broken glass in my mouth. His brother's eyes went wide with horror as he realized what he'd just done. He turned to his brother. "But you told me about her ear infection last month. You showed me videos of her walking." The room was spinning now. My mother-in-law dropped her serving spoon with a clatter. "Walking?" I whispered. "There's a baby who can walk?" My husband's hands were shaking violently now. "I can explain," he started, but his brother was already pulling out his phone. "You showed me this video last week," he said, holding up the screen. A beautiful baby girl with my husband's eyes was taking wobbly steps across someone's living room. A woman's voice in the background was cheering her on. I recognized that voice. Rebecca from his office, who'd eaten potato salad in my backyard last July while complaining about her divorce. "That's Rebecca's apartment," I said, my voice eerily calm. I recognized the curtains from her Instagram. The truth crashed over me in waves. "How old is she?" I asked, though I already knew the answer would destroy me. 14 months, his brother said quietly, looking like he wanted to disappear. "He said you guys had her 14 months ago." I did the math instantly while the room tilted sideways. That meant he'd gotten Rebecca pregnant while I was researching fertility clinics and taking prenatal vitamins, while I was timing intercourse with ovulation strips and lying with my legs elevated for 30 minutes afterward, desperate for the baby I thought we both wanted. "You told him we had a baby together?" I asked, turning to face my husband. "You've been pretending our baby exists while raising one with someone else?" His mother gasped, putting her hand over her mouth in horror. "How long has everyone known about this baby?" I asked, looking around the table at their guilty faces. "Since she was born," his mother whispered, tears forming. "We met her last Christmas when you were at your mother's funeral." She paused, realizing what she just admitted. "He brought her to our house for Christmas dinner, said you were too grief-stricken to travel with the baby." My mother's funeral. I remembered him staying behind for a critical work deadline. He'd sent flowers and called every night, asking how I was holding up, telling me he loved me. "You introduced your affair baby to your family while I was burying my mother?" The words came out broken. "You had Christmas dinner with her?" His sister looked sick. "How often do you see her?" I asked, though I dreaded the answer. "Every Wednesday and Saturday," he whispered, not meeting my eyes. "Wednesday client dinners that never produced receipts. Saturday morning gym sessions despite the unopened protein powder in our pantry." His phone constantly lighting up during our date nights. "Show me your phone," I demanded. "Show me the banking app." With trembling fingers, he unlocked it. I snatched it and started scrolling through our joint account. Venmo payments to Rebecca. A recurring daycare payment for $1,200. Pediatrician charges, diapers, formula, baby clothes from expensive boutiques. $24,000 a year, I calculated, my voice rising. "You're spending $24,000 a year on this baby while I've been clipping coupons to save for fertility treatments." I kept scrolling back and found something that made my stomach drop. A payment to a jeweler from 16 months ago, 2 days after my first fertility appointment. "You bought her jewelry, $3,000, but the worst was still coming. Last month, October 15th, a payment to a fertility clinic." My heart stopped. "She's doing IVF to have another baby with you?" His face crumpled completely. "While you told me we couldn't afford the $15,000 for my treatments?" I stood up, my legs shaking. "You held my hand while the doctor explained payment plans. You said maybe next year when things were more stable." My voice rose to a scream. "You've been paying for another woman to have more of your babies while I've been injecting myself with hormones that make me puke every morning." "Get out," his father said quietly, pointing at him. "Pack your things and get out of my house now." I pulled off my wedding ring and set it on my untouched plate. As I stood to leave, his mother's voice cut through the silence.